Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to stand out on social media. Social media is so saturated these days that it's hard to know what's working today. Well, at the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what to do. Today I'm going to be talking about 4 insider tips that you need to know to stand out and get noticed, and also what to avoid so that you don't get ignored, which is the worst. So tip number 1 is about your visuals. Of course, that's important. Tip number 2 is about content triggers, and I'll get into that a little bit more and why that's so important. Tip number 3 is about hooks. And tip number 4 is my favorite. It's all about the strategy. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. Tip number 1 is all about your visuals. Now, your visuals are super important, from the initial thumbnail that people see when they're on YouTube, or if you are just starting out putting things on Reels or YouTube Shorts, or if you're on Facebook Stories, whatever it is. How are you making your social media stand out? A consistent look is key. So what are your brand colors? Have you established those? Do you have a consistent look as far as where you film? And it doesn't always have to be the same background. In fact, a variety is kind of good, actually. But whatever's in your background, make sure that it's a reflection of you as much as possible, as opposed to like a blank wall. So for me, this is all about me. It's a story that I want to convey to you in a non-verbal way, so that you have something to kind of give you a full picture of me while I'm talking. So this is important in video, but also in photos of yourself. So consider your background carefully. Now, another component of your visuals is video, which I've just touched on a little bit, is king. Video gets more views, more engagement than photos, and photos get more engagement than just plain words. It's okay to mix these up. You may not always have the time to do video and editing and all that, but definitely spend the time on the ones you really want to get noticed and you really want that extra engagement. Put a little extra into those and make sure that you are sprinkling in some video along with some photos and some text only. That's okay. Another thing about social media is a lot of, especially small business owners, think in order to look bigger, they need to use a lot of stock photos, pictures of models. That's actually not true. We are engaging more today with real people, with authenticity. So it's okay to have the owner themselves do the videos or be in the photos, and their family, their dog, their vacation, whatever, to create kind of this mosaic, as I like to call it, of imagery around your brand, and tell a story through all of the posts that you kind of weave together. So you don't always have to use perfect photography. In fact, unless you're selling photography, it's kind of gonna count against you to always be perfect. So be flawed, be wonderful, roll out of bed, throw on a ball cap and just talk to people, or, be out on a windy day and the sound's not perfect. It's okay if you have something to say that's interesting. Go ahead and do that anyway. And if you are worried about hair and makeup and lighting, and you want to always appear your best, get a simple ring light. I'm using a ring light that I got from Amazon for, probably $15. I'm using my cell phone because the camera on my phone is way better than the one on my laptop for sure, and better than most cameras out there today. And I'm using an app called YouCam Makeup. And it's perfect if you don't want to do your makeup that day. Look at this. There's my eyelashes, there's my eyebrow. So under this, I'm just looking like I look, and I just wanted to look a little bit better than that today. So YouCam Makeup, pro tip. And make sure that if you are doing something that requires a more professional look, like on YouTube, a thumbnail, which is the graphic that goes over, that gets people to see your brand colors, see a little bit more about what the video might be about. I just do those in Canva. It's super easy, it's super cheap. You can go in there and they even have templates you can use. So consider using thumbnails if you're doing a lot of like YouTube or something like that. And also consider captions with your videos for two reasons. Number one, it's great for accessibility. And number two, people rarely watch your videos with the sound on these days at the office or on a train or whatever. So make it easy for them to engage with what you're saying by making sure that you have those on. And on to tip number 2. So this one is all about your content triggers. Now, this is what is going to get people to stop the scroll and want to engage, want to listen to your video or want to read more about your post. And the things that are working the best are really, they fall into a couple different categories. And this is all based on how consumers have changed, how we as human beings have changed since the pandemic. So the things that will get us to stop scrolling are, aside from hooks, which I will talk about next, but in your imagery, cats, dogs, babies, nostalgia, getting things, insider things, anything that evokes an emotion in them is going to get them to stop the scroll. It's going to help your chances anyway. So anything you can do from the get-go to engage them that way is always going to help. And along with that, with content triggers, stories work so much better than sales pitches. You can still pitch in your posts, but try to do it by telling a story about how you helped another client or how this customer really loves your service or your widget that you sold them or whatever. So telling those stories is way better than just outright pitching. You can pitch occasionally, meaning overtly sell something, but be really careful because we really, unless you have a really strong following of people who already love you, pitches can be a real immediate turnoff. And if it's the first thing they're ever seeing from you and it's a sales pitch, you may not get a follow or a like ever again from those people. So go easy on the pitches, wrap them in a story, use some of the other content triggers like nostalgia, pets, babies, any of those things, and tie all of that together as best you can to really stand out. And the third tip to stand out better on social media is your hook. So what are the hooks that you are using? Now, these can be things that are typed into your thumbnail if you're doing a YouTube video like the one that you saw before you clicked on this one, or it can be something that you actually say in a video or say as text across your photo or as a headline of your post. But these are going to hook people in to make them want to engage with your post. And these can be things in your video like stop scrolling or I just saw the funniest thing. Doesn't it kind of make you curious what I just saw? Or you're never going to believe what happened to me today. Or something like these 3 things helped me make $7,000 in one day. We see that a lot on like TikTok and whatnot. And they work. These work, which is why they become great hooks. So you can, in fact, I'm going to offer a free download of a list of hooks that you can use to your liking. So at the end of this, check the link for a list of hooks that you can use. And number 4, how do we tie all this together in a strategy that is going to get you noticed? This is all about, this is going to sound kind of like a paradox, variety and consistency. So I have a monthly template that I use for my social media plan, and there is both variety and consistency. Every Monday I do #Marketing Monday and I share a marketing tip. Every Wednesday I do Win Wednesday and I ask people to engage by sharing what's something that you're proud of that you accomplished this week, however small it is. So those are consistent every week, every Monday and Wednesday. But then I also have variety throughout the week so that I keep people interested. It is not always the same thing. It's not always me pushing my latest widget. It's not always me pitching something. It's not always me bragging about how great my company is. There are ways to do that, to drip those out along with a more rich variety, a mosaic of content. And for that, I have 7 different content pillars that I personally follow that I will share with you here. So the first one is something that's purely a post to get people engaging with you. This is to ask a simple question. This is my hashtag Win Wednesday post. I just want people to engage and to remember me every Wednesday. They go, oh, it's that woman, and they may actually stop what they're doing and type something that was a win for them. And I love that, because then I can engage back and start a conversation, which is the ultimate goal with social media, is to build trust and start conversations that lead to action. So that is just one of them, is the engagement. The next one is authority. And this is along the lines of my hashtag Marketing Monday. You want to just kind of show off a little bit about how you're an expert in your field and why they should believe you, why they should trust you as a thought leader. And so when I post on Marketing Monday, I will usually share a statistic or a book or something, but then I add my own insight as a thought leader, as an expert to that, so that it's not just me giving away the great exposure to somebody else's quote, it's me giving my own 2 cents to it. So that is all about building authority. The next one is sales. Of course, it's okay to pitch occasionally. And one of the cool things about these content pillars is you can weave a couple of them together at the same time. So with engagement, I could say, hey, what's your Win Wednesday? I have something really cool to celebrate today. I just launched my new course. And so that's how I could sell something, by also engaging, using an engagement post, so doing two at once. And if you're just doing a pure sales post, again, try to do a story around that. Tell a story of how you solved someone else's headache and why other people should work with you. And the next type of post is likability. This is what we are all probably experts at if you've ever been on Facebook or Instagram. It's those posts that we just want people to go, oh my gosh, I love that, or that's so cool, or congratulations, or great vacation. It's all of those things that just show that you're a real human being and one that's really likable. One of the things that I do on my likability posts is I will dedicate a post to recognizing somebody else, another company or human being. It can be somebody I know or somebody that I want to know. Somebody I know, like my friend just launched a book, so I made an entire post about how great it is and congratulations to her. And I included a link to her book and her website, and I talked about how great of a human being she is and how smart she is. And by doing that, it shines a spotlight on someone else, which also increases my likability factor. And another one of the pillars, fun. A post that has no other purpose but just to be fun. This is also kind of along the lines of those Facebook posts. You can do a poll that's about something ridiculous, like what are you going to dress up as for Halloween, or just posting something funny, a meme, or some hilarious thing that you saw downtown, whatever that is, but something just for fun. You can't always be about business. Now, you can combine a fun post with an engagement post with a sales pitch. You can figure out ways that work for you to combine these pillars into multiple uses, however you like. The next one, number 6 out of 7, is trust. Posts that build trust. Now, these can be ways that you solved a customer's headache. It can be a testimonial from somebody who did business with you that you share, and in a humble way, like, oh wow, this was so great, look what this, you know how to do that. And it can also be something like a lesson that you learned the hard way. Like, I will always remember when my dad would not let me drive my car to school when I first got my license until I could change the tire and check the oil. He didn't want me to get into any binds, and it was a really old car, and that taught me the value of preparation and being safe. So that's those types of things, lessons that you learned, lessons about work or life or whatever, they're just to build trust. And number 7 is a call to action. There are posts that can just be a step that you want the next person to take. For example, hey everybody, I just launched my new ebook on this topic. Go here and you can get a free copy, and you can also sign up for my tips, and you can, these days it's hard to get people to sign up for any newsletter list or text marketing campaign. So make sure you're clear in that post how you're going to use their information, how often, that you're not going to spam them, you're not going to annoy them. In fact, my list is called Shauna's non-annoying email list, and that's my promise to them. So there you have it, a bunch of different ideas for you. Hopefully you found some nuggets on how you can stand out better on social media. And don't forget to like and follow for more, but also check out the link to download that list of hooks that you can employ in your own social media. See you next time.